Sunday here again, and I'm here again. It's Chris Chopping bringing you the Sunday lunch on Radio Glamorgan, and we started off as ever with Blur and Sunday, and just then you heard Andy Lewis with Paul Weller with a song they've called Are You Trying to Be Lonely? Paul Weller, of course, when he was in the Jam, wrote a song called Town Called Malice, and if you were in a town called Malice, that might be the sort of place where you might find an angry mob. Now, if you've heard a cheesier radio link than that all year, you've been listening to too much Vernon Kay. Anyway, here's the Kaiser Chiefs. Well, that's Kate Bush with Rocket Man, a cover of the Elton John original, of course, and that recently won a poll of readers of the Observer Music Monthly to find the best cover version of all time. It was Rocket Man by Kate Bush, which I've listened to it. I have to admit, before I saw the magazine, I had never heard Rocket Man by Kate Bush. I tracked it down. I knew the Elton John version, of course. I tracked it down to have a listen, see what I thought, and I've listened a couple of times. It is quite good, but I don't know if it's the best cover of all time, is it? I mean, let's have a look. Some of the things, I've got the list here, some of the other things that it beat to get the number one spot. There's Soft Cell with their version of Tainted Love, a cover so good, I mean, most people, I think, don't even realise that there is an original version by Gloria Jones. And then there's The Clash with their version of Police and Thieves, Jeff Buckley with Hallelujah, which is an all-time classic cover. I think anyone who's heard it will agree. Jeff Buckley there, and then we've got Jimi Hendrix with All Along the Watchtower, Johnny Cash, Hurt, lots of great covers there. Happy Mondays, Step On, Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You, not originally by Prince, but written by Prince for his own band, The Family. Prince didn't actually record it until after Sinead O'Connor's version was such a big success. But anyway, yeah, so Kate Bush won that. It wouldn't have been my choice, but it is a good song. But I'm going to take the opportunity to play some of my favourite covers throughout today's show, and I'm going to start off as I mean to go on. We've got the Pet Shop Boys with their version of Elvis's Always on My Mind. That was Alone, the title track from the Alone EP by Zenith, the local band. And I actually went to see Zenith on the weekend, and they are very good. They're great live. They put on a good show, and they have lots of great songs like that. The sound, I think, a little bit like the Foo Fighters, but I have to admit, by the end of the evening, I was beginning to find them a little bit annoying. And I'll tell you why. It's because they did a cover version towards the end of their set by a band you've probably heard of. It's Jet, and a song you probably know, Are You Gonna Be My Girl? Now, I don't know, maybe you're a fan of the song and you're thinking, what's so annoying about a band coming on and doing a cover of Are You Gonna Be My Girl? I'll tell you what it is. It's all down to the introduction. You see, Are You Gonna Be My Girl begins something like this. Here we go. That's enough. That's giving you a bit of a sample of that. You know what I'm talking about. That's Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet. A nice little intro, but they've ripped it off. They've ripped it off, so every time I hear that intro in a club or in a pub or a band start playing it, I think that I'm going to get to hear this. Which is an intro to an even better song. It's Lust for Life by Iggy Pop. Now, if I get into a pub and I think, great, I'm going to hear Lust for Life, and then I hear Are You Going to Be My Girl by Jet, I'm sorry, I get a little bit disappointed. It may just be me. It may be my own little problem that I've got to deal with in my own way, but I think that Lust for Life is an infinitely better song than Are You Going to Be My Girl, and Jet ripped off Iggy Pop, and it just frustrates me because I wanted to hear Lust for Life and I didn't get to hear it. But I tell you what, you are all going to get to hear it now. I'm going to play it for you all the way through. It's Lust for Life by Iggy Pop. That's Hey There Delilah by the Plain White Tees, and they're in the charts at the moment. They could be up or down later on today with Jamie and the chart show. Jamie, who was with him doing that. It's Jamie and Simon, of course. Of course it is, doing the chart show later today. And now, apropos of nothing, here's the Beatles. Take it away, Sir Paul McCartney.
You tell lies thinking I can't see.
Was Ian Brown and Sister Rose from his new album that I think is number 3 in the music charts at the minute. It's somewhere, I don't know, somewhere up there anyway. And that's a great song off there. I can't play the single because it's got a great big swear word jam in the middle of it, so we're going to play album tracks from that week after week, I shouldn't wonder, for the next few weeks. And you're listening to Radio Glamorgan, supported by the Rotary Clubs of Cardiff. If you want to make a request, you can press the grey button on your patient line handset or call 02920 743 389. But anyway, I mean, I've got something now I'd like to get off my chest. I hope you don't mind, listener. I'm going to have a little bit of a rant, because I've been looking at the papers this week, and I've got a message for anyone who works in the media. If you work for a national newspaper, or you've got a friend who works for a paper, pass it on. I want someone out there to stop all the people putting Princess Diana on the front of the newspapers. I don't want to see Princess Diana on the front of any more newspapers, please. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've got nothing against Princess Diana herself. I'm sure she did a lot of nice work for charity. Nice work? Good work for charity. That's a better way of putting it, isn't it? I'm sure she did a lot of good work for charity and, you know, really helped some people. I'm sure she was a great mum, all the rest of it. But it's not news. It's not news anymore to see Princess Diana on the front of the papers. And I'm particularly annoyed this week because there's a story in the papers about Princess Diana, a photograph of her in the lift with Dodi Al-Fayed on the day of her accident all those years ago now. And this picture, it's got all the headlines, picture of her in a lift, smiling, headline, her last smile. No, it wasn't. It's a lie, or at best a half-truth. It's the last smile caught on camera. That's Your Love Alone Is Not Enough by the Manic Street Preachers, a great song from a great album. They've got a new single, Indian Summer, coming out shortly, but it's not on the computer and I forgot to bring the CD in. That's what happened with this. We've had Your Love Alone Is Not Enough again, but you can never hear that song too many times, I don't think. Anyway, I've got a song now by a band. They're a new band I recently discovered, and they're called The Agrolites. Now already I have a bit of a problem with that name because I think they're trying to sound a bit tough, aren't they? The Agrolites. They're going to bring you aggro. They're going to cause trouble. Yeah, they're hard. They're aggro causers. They're menaces to society. They're rebels. The Agrolites. But it doesn't really work because you hear the word Agrolites. Already it sounds like an advert for some sort of new health product that's available on the market. You know, are you looking for trouble but want to look after your heart? Why not try the Agrolites, now with 50% less fatty acids? You know, it doesn't work as a hard name, does it, the Agrolites? Another great cover version, that's Blur's version of Oliver's Army, and I have to admit I've been singing along to that in the studio. It's just as well there's an off button on this microphone, because you would have all been switching over or switching off. I tell you, I wasn't hitting a note there, but I loved it, I was enjoying it, and I hope you did too. That is a song called Keep the Lights On by Teflon Monkey. I say it's by Teflon Monkey. I don't think he's actually called that anymore. I think someone from a legal team somewhere got in touch with him and said you're not allowed to use that name. I think they threatened to sue. I'm not sure if it was the people in charge of Teflon or the people in charge of monkeys, but one or the other, I don't remember which, told him he can't be called Teflon Monkey, and I don't know what he's called now, but it is something else. I'm sure you can find it out on the internet if you're that bothered. But that's from an album called Depressed Celts Volume 1. It's a Placid Casual label sampler, and the problem with that album, I've got the disc with me, but I haven't in fact got the case to carry it in. I'll tell you why, because when you buy it and you take it home, there are instructions to fold the case into a little cardboard armchair. Now that's very tempting. If you've got a CD case, there are instructions for a little cardboard armchair. I defy anyone not to turn the case into a little cardboard armchair, sit it on top of their CD rack. Looks very smart, not very practical. Not good for carrying CDs around in. It can't be done. So it's, you know, it's nice for what it is, but I find I then want to bring the CD to the radio station. I'm bringing it in a little plastic see-through wallet because I haven't got a case, because it's sat there at home being a little armchair, and it's too small as an armchair. There's nothing can sit in there. I haven't even got any little toys or anything that will sit in there, so it's fairly pointless. But anyway, I've got a request now for a guy, and there's still time if you want requests on the programme. There's still half an hour to go, and you can get in some requests either with me or with Stuart later. I'm sure wouldn't mind having some requests on either, and you can make a request by pressing the grey button on your patient line handset or calling 02920 743 389, or you can come down to the studio. There's a little window you can wave through at me, there's a little phone, we can chat, and you can tell me what you want to hear. And the next song coming up is a request for a guy called Jamie Charles, and I think he's in hospital, but he's doing very well at the moment, and he's up in one of the wards. I've forgotten which ward he's in, but he's somewhere, and he's got a request. Someone's dedicated to him the song Stand By Me by Benny King. Here it is now.
Suzanne, you're wrong.